habitual line step, but he didn't want to hear it no more. He said, let's start the show.
Haters. Nah, I see like the player hater thing for every time.
Hey, I've been consistent and I hate for the praise. My daughter gets something all the time. Why do you live here, Daddy?
But, you at least root for the Falcons, but hate the Bulldogs.
Listen, we can have a segment about it. The Bulldogs says why I hate them. They know why.
Man, we're coming in
all the
hot.
time.
You know why. Man.
What about the Hawks, JQ? You a Hawks fan?
I'm just indifferent. I don't mind seeing them doing well, but I don't love or hate them. I'm indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
But root for the Falcons.
You got in New York. You got to root for one or the other, Rob.
Oh man,
it's got to be one or the other.
Hey, I'm a Yankees fan, but I don't.
It looks like it.
I'm a Yankees fan, but I don't hate the Mets. Like I said, man, I was a big fan of that team in '86.
America, I don't want to hear any other shade by Rob, by JQ, or by Gary. I'm gonna wear whatever the hell I want.
No, hell no.
All the time.
Hell no. You guys, listen, you ludicrous. Different area codes. You got a team in every area code. You start.
That's right. So I'm just saying, I don't want to hear any of this because Rob over here wearing, you never see him in a Saints jersey though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I saved those for Sundays.
Man,
I saved those for Saints games.
I went to Rob in
I did wear a Saints jersey for all 3 days of the draft.
That's awesome, Rob. I went to Rob's house and had my Falcons up in pajamas too. That was pretty awesome, man. So it was great, man.
Oh man, I'm glad I didn't see that.
That's wild.
We are having a
fan. I saw you had that on.
You locked your door.
No, I wouldn't do that to Rob. I actually had respect for Rob. That's what we do. I wouldn't do that to him and Miss Gina. Hey, welcome to their Talking Sports, the 12th Man Wednesday edition. We got JQ back and the fellows. We were just reminiscing about jerseys and area codes and all that fun stuff too, and teams we love, hate, and then whatever random stuff. So welcome, join the conversation. As always, I'm gonna go around the horn and check in with the fellas, and we decided to do the show on Wednesday so that we have a night to actually watch the last part of the OKC and Spurs game. But we'll see. We'll talk about that. We'll cover all that. And man, we got a lot of things to talk about. Gentlemen, let's dive right in. Let me go around the horn, check in with the crew. Like to throw it to JQ. How you feeling, my guy?
Oh, man, I'm good. I took today and yesterday off to recuperate from Memorial Day weekend and just hang out. Me and my family went to go see Michael today. It was a really good movie. Wasn't nobody dancing in the damn aisles and being crazy. I
thought you were adamant about not going to see it at the movies.
I waited until the cycles had gone past to where everybody felt like they got that out of their system. It was only about 7 of us in the theater for a 4:00 show. But it was a really good movie. So anybody that is a Michael Jackson fan, if you haven't gone to see it, it's worth going to check it out on the big screen. Yeah, man, having a good day, man. Just chilling out, except for the Reds was 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position against those damn Mets. So they couldn't finish the sweep off, but I always take a serious win. If you give me 2 out of 3,
let's go Mets. Let's go Mets.
We see you, Jay. We see you, Rich, by the way. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Rich is on too. I'm getting the chat so fair. Appreciate you, Rich, by the way. Good stuff.
What's up, Rich?
There he is. There it is. All right.
Okay, there I see him. I just texted him.
Hey, Rich, is it going to be Oregon State or Georgia Tech for the baseball championship?
Better watch your language, Rob.
Oh, gosh.
But good stuff, JQ. No more foolishness, JQ. And no one was dancing or that's anything like that, man.
Listen, I was trying to find out. Listen, a random day on Wednesday at 4:00, so you don't have anybody doing nothing stupid.
Everybody's still at work.
Yeah, I was just happy to be off. The girls are out for the summer, but all kidding aside, it was a good movie. So if you're a Michael Jackson fan, it goes to about 1988 or 1989.
Yep. They're saying they're gonna do a part 2.
Well, I don't know what. Listen, we could just talk about part 2 another day because that's going to touch on some real stuff. But part 1 was really good. So,
Gary, I'm gonna go to you, so you don't have to worry about any following up any asparagus stuff, man. So how's your What's going on in your world?
Yeah, doing great. Yeah, I wore this. I wore this for my buddy on the show.
That's my dude. That's
right.
my dog.
Kissing up,
My
boy, I tell
dog.
you.
Yeah.
That's my
And
dog.
That's
no,
my
hey,
twin.
Rob,
That's my dog. That's my
belated
dog.
happy anniversary.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Power couple of the decade, I guess, huh? Is that what you and the missus are going for? Kind of
Hey, I
looking that
received
way.
that.
Kind of looking that way. You're in the running.
There it is.
You're in the running.
There
You
you
got
go.
my vote.
You got that light bright energy.
Let's go.
I'm
Now
messing
that's
with
true
you.
kissing up, Rob.
I'm just,
Be the
He
You're
difference.
right.
kissing up. He
That's
trying
a
to be
jersey.
He
That
trying
was
to be
full on
facetious.
kissing
You
up.
kissing up with the Cincinnati gear 2 weeks in a row.
Hey,
You must need a favor from JQ or something.
stay tuned,
Warm
JQ.
up.
I gotta come down and water the plants.
Oh
You must
gosh,
want,
yeah.
you must want JQ to come cook, put some salmon on the grill for you or
Please,
something.
please do.
Hey, I was gonna say it'd be more impressive, Gary, if you had the TJ Husmanjada, that jersey. How about that? Because
Is that the
that's
Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco?
No,
Yeah.
it's just the Chad Johnson one.
Chad Johnson.
I asked him if it was Ocho Cinco. He was like, "No, this is Chad Johnson." I'm like, "Oh."
If I can find it next week, I think I've got a Chad Johnson Oregon State jersey downstairs somewhere in the basement.
Stop.
Wow, same colors, orange and black.
Yep,
Go.
that's why I
Good
bought
stuff.
it.
Rob, how you feeling, man?
Hey man, doing great, man. Trying to deal with all this kissing up on the show, but we'll get through it.
See, it's all well and good when you talk about your Yankees. It's all well and good.
No, it's all good. No asparagus on the menu today. I had some yesterday, so we all good. It's not always easy to get when you're traveling, so I got to make it do what it do, baby.
We're so sorry.
Where you at tonight?
Right down the road from you in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Listen, down there in that double tree with that extended kitchen.
Nah, not a double tree.
You should have called me earlier. I would come down and I could have come down there and we could have done the show together.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Listen, you know how he is. He show up in your town, he don't call. That's who he is.
No.
Gary don't live in Orlando, man. And then Atlanta. You come in Atlanta and I'm all the way down by the airport, man. That's like an hour drive.
Hour and a half. Yeah. But listen, Gary ain't got no job. He ain't got shit to do.
Man, you see that honey to-do list his wife had for him?
Rob's seen it. He knows.
Right. Gary's like, can I get a job?
He
Hey,
probably
I
wants
need a
to go back
job
to
just so I
work.
can rest.
He wants to go back to work.
Listen, he said, "Hey, bro, you got a double bed there so I can spend the night."
Oh, that's hilarious. Hey,
He probably wanted to come down here to, babe, we ended the show kind of late. I'm just gonna spend the night in Orlando here.
Listen, I'm sleeping in this double bed with Ron.
that's hilarious. Hey, Richard, finish your thought about Oregon State because I'm kind of curious what that means. But Jordan Sec, man, let's go for that. Hey, really quickly, the shows, all the details are listed at the bottom there. We're going to jump into a lot of topics. Follow us on X at the number 12 THMAN Sports. We're on Facebook Live, which you're watching this now. Talking sports with the 12th man and another 12th man sports on YouTube. So we're going to have some fun, gentlemen, tonight. Let's jump right into it as far as some NFL players on a contract year that could have breakout seasons. So I'm curious to what you say, guys, as far as this. And Rob, kick us off with some ideas and kind of go from there, my guy.
Well, here's my list. Of course, I'm going to start with a Saints player first.
Of course you are.
Saints fan, of course. Chris Olave, right? But all indications all look like the Saints are going to give him an extension. But he's got 1 year left on his deal. He's coming off his best season as a pro. He really built a good rapport with Tyler Shook at the end of the year. But as of right now, there's no deal, and he's got 1 year left on his deal. But all indications are the Saints are going to give him an extension. Kyler Murray, right? It's a 1 year deal in Minnesota, right? So this is a huge year for him on whether or not he'll be the long-term answer in Minnesota or whether or not he gets a starting job somewhere else, right? and he's got all the pieces around him to be successful, right? When you look at the tight end situation, you look at Jordan Addison, you look at Justin Jefferson, so he's got the pieces around him to be successful in that offense, right? So, we'll see what happens. That Minnesota team was 9-8, and they had Gary Schaefer playing quarterback last year. So I mean, anything is an upgrade over what they had last season. So,
not over the Schaefer.
Yeah. They're a team to watch in that division for sure, with Kyler Murray. So we'll see what happens. Reek Woolen, the cornerback from the Eagles, right? He lost his job in Seattle. He got 1-year deal in Philly, trying to regain his form to where he was a couple of years ago. And, he'd probably be a nickel corner with the Eagles, but still an opportunity. Christian Watson with the Packers, to me, has underachieved his entire career. So is he going to get it done in his contract year? I don't think so, but we'll see. This is a contract year for him to possibly, give some information to some teams. Josh Downs with the Colts, another wide receiver who's kind of been up and down. And an interesting player I like to hear JQ on, Miles Murphy, came on at the end of the season last season, right? Probably played the best football of his career at the end of the season last season. Can he carry that over into next season and possibly get a big contract on next year?
Can he start? Because they drafted Cassius Howe, and then you got your buddy from Seattle, and Stewart. So the real thing is, can he start and play more meaningful minutes to get that? And they told him they didn't pick up his 5th-year option because they spent some money in his offseason. I said, damn, come on, Cincinnati. But that lets you know what they thought about him, is that they didn't set aside the money for him in this offseason to pick up his 5th-year option because he's been an underachiever. You left one off.
I wouldn't finish, but go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No, I had 3 more.
Okay.
Britton Strange, tight end from Jacksonville. We'll see what he can do this year in his contract year. Kayvon Thibodeau with the Giants. Yep. So he's one. The Saints actually tried to trade for him, offered the Giants a 4th rounder. The Giants wanted more, and the Saints didn't want to budge. So more to come on that situation. But he's going into a contract year as well.
Trying to give him a 4th-round pick.
And Randy McMichael as well.
I do the top 6 and trying to get him for a 4th-round pick. The Saints are wild. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, they may still trade for him. The Saints may give in and give a 3rd, but I don't think it's going to be more than that. And then Andre with the Falcons, Matthew Bergeron, right?
Yeah.
Got new head coach, new offensive coordinator, new offensive line coach as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting in his last year of his contract if he have a breakout year for the Falcons too.
Yeah. Mine's really was just Miles Murphy, Watson for sure, especially when you trade. They traded the wide receiver to Philadelphia. So you're banking on him to finally emerge, but he just keeps getting those soft injuries, and he just can't stay healthy.
Yep.
Thibodeau is really one that I picked up on because, you get rid of Dexter Lawrence, Bill Carter, what are you going to do there? They signed a buddy from Carolina a couple years back. So they quietly have depth on the defensive line. So do you force the Giants' hand to, make them give you a long-term deal? And again, of course, Miles Murphy. I know I'm a little biased, but he started to come on. And it's a really big deal in Cincinnati because he was starting to come on, but, you don't pick up his 5th-year option and people looking like as you mess up another 1st-round pick. So stop picking these dudes from Clemson.
Well, I think they're smart on Cincinnati. Yeah, you showed us something a little at the end of the season, but we need to see more before we pick up that additional year, right? So, they're probably trying to play it safe there.
The thing about it, though, for Cincinnati, we can move on, is that both of our starting cornerbacks are both free agents. So if you don't pick up that 5th-year option on him, then you got 3 players for 1 franchise tag, right? So you could let somebody overpay for him, or try to get a better deal for him instead of that. But it also is a game of chicken, right, throughout the course of the season about what they do with him, because they got to come to try to get to a resolution with one of those 3 during the season so they can franchise another one and let the 3rd one go.
And those were that's most of my list too, and pretty much anybody that's that's franchise tagged.
Mm-hmm.
George
The
Pickens
thing
is,
about
you
the thing
know,
is, you can
Yeah.
still franchise them. You just got to pay the cost to be the boss again. But
Right.
again, the same thing I had with T. I think Dallas has the same thing with Pickens. That even if you do it and you get the 10 or 15% kicker for franchising him 2 years in a row, you still probably end up with the same yearly average starting salary that you would have paid him on a long-term deal anyway, depending on how you structure the contract. So it's depending on the position. It's not necessarily a bad thing to franchise him 2 years in a row.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone has some similar players. Obviously, you're going to kind of, again, go to your team. And I'm going to go from mine. I'm going to go to Kyle Pitts because, again, it's an interesting season for him. Kevin Stefanski comes in, and he's like a tight end whisperer. So I'm curious to see what type of role he has in the offense because, again, Kevin Stefanski is talking about they're going to utilize him in certain ways and, kind of hopefully unlock his potential because he's had a very uneven, couple of years and, injuries and then bad quarterback play. You can say what you want about Zach Robinson. So I'm excited to see kind of his progression. We franchise tagged him, and then hopefully we're holding on to him because, even though there's been some concerns on the Atlanta Falcons side as far as if we should get rid of him, I still think he's talented. So we have to unlock that. So I'm kind of, a player that I think he can have a breakout season as well, too. Everyone has their different players in the thing as well, obviously.
But that tight end number is a different number then, right? As well. So
absolutely. It's like 13 million as well. Yeah.
So if you do it again, it goes to like 16. Like it's still not prohibitive money.
Yeah. So I'm just excited because again, it's a situation where I want to see what Kevin Stefanski does do with with the tight end position too because he's clearly talented, obviously, and that top pick, I don't want to give up on him. Everyone's like, get rid of him. I'm like, dude, man, that dude's a fourth pick, man. He picked effing him over Jamar Chase, and that's still gonna haunt me. But still, keep him because this is insane, man. So
if they franchised George Pickens again, what he's getting 29 or something
crazy like that. Yeah, Gary.
So
yeah.
What would he be getting next year?
You have to figure out the top. It kind of resets the next year too, Gary. So what's the
but you have to also add it to if you do. I'm pretty sure if you do it 2 years in a row, it's that plus like a 10 or 15% kicker.
It is.
They want to dissuade teams from just franchise them year after year. They want to have some kind of like penalty for it. But again, if you give him that long-term deal going into next year with the signing bonus or whatever, he's going to probably make somewhere in that 35 to 36 anyway if you give him a long-term contract on that next year's book. So how much are you really losing by doing it again?
Yeah, they said that if you're looking at the franchise tag is $27.29 million. And that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Whoo, $30 million for that. Whoo. That's going to be nuts.
That's the Bengals are paying T basically as the second wide receiver, so it lines up.
Yeah,
he's gonna make 27. But anyway, let's talk about Rob. Anything else you want to wrap up with that, sir? Or are you good? Did you get all your thoughts in there, Rob?
No, I'm good there.
Okay. Let's talk about some gems for the 2023 draft. And obviously, in spite of his challenges, I still think probably the crown gem of the draft is definitely Puka Nacua, obviously his draft stock because he was a fifth round. Was he fifth round?
He was drafted too.
Yeah, it was just good to see him in that situation. There's a couple players when I was looking up some stuff here as well, but curious as far as your thoughts as far as some gems, if you will. There's some players that made some plays, so I don't know if they're gems, if you will, too. So I'm kind of curious as far as your thoughts about that. But that's the one that kind of stuck out to me. But go ahead, guys, and I'll circle back around to get this too here. As far as this, go ahead.
Well, Puka is definitely the biggest steal of that draft for sure. Getting drafted in the fifth round.
Sam Laporta and stuff like that as well. Brian Branch.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like what you said. These
third
are
round that year.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, but of course, Bijan Robinson, number 8 overall pick in that draft.
We're picking any players. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I thought you were
and Jackson Smith and Jigba, who arguably might have been the best receiver in the league this past year, and he was picked like number 20 in that draft. Will Anderson, of course, was a beast last year for the Houston Texans. He's number 3 overall pick. Devin Witherspoon, top corner in that draft, went number 5 overall to Seattle. Jalen Carter, right? He got into a little off the field situation. And he fell down to number 9, but he's straight up unblockable. And I watched him in person, man. He is unblockable when he's on, right? So those are kind of the 6 studs in that draft that come to mind to me: Bijan, Puka, Jackson, Will Anderson, Devin Witherspoon, and Jalen Carter out that draft. Obviously, 5 of those 6 were first round guys, and Puka going in the 5th round was the biggest steal.
I'm gonna add Christian Gonzalez as an honorable mention to that list.
Sam Laporta too, Rob, and then
Sam Laporta, 3rd round pick. Christian Gonzalez, number 17 overall in that draft.
Pretty hot too as well. You got to give him some love for the first round, obviously. I noticed that JQ was staying away from CJ Stroud, but that's one other conversation. But
He suck ass.
he does suck ass.
Oh, and I mean, Bryce Young is showing some improvement, but I still can't put him in that league either.
No,
that's tough.
No, Bijan Robinson was a name that stood out, and also, of course, Puka being the steal of the draft. But
well, we'll see.
Yeah, Jake. What's that?
I said we'll see. Listen, Puka out here wild, and you got to make sure that he stay in the league.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying what he's done, what his body of work so far.
I got you.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, Jalen Carter. I wish he was a failure, but he's not. I wish.
Yeah,
I don't wish him the best. I hope he stays healthy. I will not wish him the best.
Yeah, you got to show love to Bijan. Obviously, showing up some love, and then Jackson Smith and Jigma, obviously plays well. You got to show some love to
Bijan Robinson. He's a difference maker. He really is a.
Yeah, we were actually
he's the guy.
Time, it's definitely a forward-thinking situation because at the time we're like, man, should you really be drafting running backs that high? And I know there's some challenges with that draft pick, and Arthur Smith, I give him credit. He definitely stood his ground, and we drafted him, and he's not even here to reap the benefits of that pick. But thank you for that one. That's the one thing I'll give him credit for. Let's talk about the Chargers. Go Chargers, JQ. Derwin James, the highest paid safety, locked him in for a 3-year, $75.6 million extension, $57.5 guaranteed, $25.2 million a year. He squeaks past Kyle Hamilton to take retake his crown as the highest paid safety. You gotta like what the Chargers doing under a new chapter under the new defensive secondary coach Chris O'Leary, who replaced Jesse Minter. And, James has played 16 games last 3 seasons, literally the heart of the defense, calls the signals.
It's a problem.
Jim Harbaugh is keeping his defensive anchor for life. So that's a good pickup for the Chargers.
Listen, he's playing that Big Ten football. He told you. He said Joe was a weapon. He gonna play in the trenches and have his. He's got his Ed Reed. He's got his Troy Polamalu. He's got his right. Like he's got his anchor of his safety of his defense back there, and it's hard to argue. When Derwin James is out there and healthy and playing, he's a whole problem. I know Baltimore is not happy right now because now Kyle Hamilton will look at him like this.
Sideways.
Oh, yeah? Sure.
Where's my money?
Where's my money? And, if you hear about somebody else on this list, I know Caleb Downs is probably like this. Because if people are doing, you're gonna have those two.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Good luck.
That's the very first thing I thought of.
Good luck, Gary. Cowboys, yeah.
You got some time on Caleb Downs, though.
I know.
You got 2 to 4 years.
But it's coming.
If he works out, because you got 5 years with the 5th-year extension, 5th-year option. But if those two continue to play at that level and they keep upping the bar, then you got Dak probably coming to the end of it. But it puts Dallas in a pickle of you want this guy to be that dude. But if he ends up being that dude, and you watch Derwin James and Kyle Hamilton keep resetting the market, that was the second thing I thought of. The first thing I thought was Kyle Hamilton in Baltimore, and them saying shit. Yes.
Who else? Was that Rob?
$57.5 million guaranteed, man. That's
$57.5 million guaranteed. That's insane.
And it's the second time he's got the highest paid.
He's the second
right?
again.
So it's incredible. And JQ said it, but I mean he's a difference maker on D, and he's a cerebral football player too. So he's not getting by with just talent. He's a very smart football player, makes the right reads, makes the right angles. So just a cerebral football player, and he plays with some really good aggression too.
What's him like ass out? The only problem has been he tends to get hurt because he plays so physical and hard. But when that dude stays on the field and he's healthy, you got to count for Derwin James.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Gary, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's those angles. Those angles are the most impressive thing. You know, getting knowing those angles and being where he's supposed to be and hitting as hard as he can every time. That's what you want.
I wonder if Kyle Hamilton. I wonder if they talk about it. I wonder if Kyle Hamilton sent him like a bottle or something. Like, thank you, brother.
Let's negotiate this. I feel like we talk about this topic here with the quarterbacks in 20. I mean, we keep beating this up. I mean, because we still have the same. If I'm thinking of the topic correctly, Rob, it's the Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, Joe Burrows, a lot of left for you, JQ, Josh Allen's, Matthew Stafford. I mean, is
that's
Herbert
my five
still,
right there. You said
it.
Is Herbert
my
finally
five.
outside? Yeah,
that's
so
my
it's just,
five too.
Feels like it's the same,
That's
my five.
Yeah.
You can argue about the order, but as much as I hate that dude, I think Pat's got to be one. I think Stafford's got to be two, and those other three, until they get a chip, are jostling between 3 and 5.
Mm-hmm. Can't argue with
that.
Honest.
If I'm being honest, Joe is probably 5th.
Josh Allen has been the best regular season quarterback, but yeah, when you look at the totality of it all, playoffs, Super Bowls, yeah, you gotta give Mahomes and Stafford a slight edge.
Mm-hmm. And it's tough, right? Because
I think Burrow's 5th. He doesn't have an MVP, don't have a Super Bowl win,
and he's got to stay healthy.
But even if he had an MVP or a Super Bowl win in there with being hurt, you can slide him up to a 3 or a 4. But without those things, he's got to be 5th.
It's just tough because Josh Allen just makes the offense go. They don't want to give him help, Then they finally, all right, we got to get some help for this dude, man. So he had the running game, and then you got to get some weapons for him, and then they're trying to make some moves. It's just you're trying to lean too much on Josh, and he's definitely going to have.
You have a quarterback like Josh Allen that you got so much shelf life for a quarterback, especially one that is physical like him, that's going to run, that's going to take punishment. And all this stuff. You better get some bodies around. You've got the talent.
Yeah.
Get some help around.
Give him some help. Give him some help.
Yeah.
No love for Aaron Rodgers. No. Richard,
not in the 2020s. In the 2010s, I would put Aaron Rodgers in that list up there, but not in the 2020s.
Not in the 2020s. Totally agree.
Yeah.
I know you're a Steelers fan, Richard, but no, he don't belong.
Well, he won MVPs in 2020 and 2021.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's 6.
Still don't belong.
Let's talk about something interesting here. What's next for AJ Brown besides reading more books on the sidelines? But on a serious note, there's a lot of where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Because again, there's a lot of scuttlebutt about him being traded. Patriots kept coming up. And a lot of
Chiefs too.
Some stuff, yeah.
Kansas
Same
City.
thing. Chiefs,
Yeah.
What's happening, with the offense and him not being happy with the way that Jalen Hurts has been playing. And we like the dissension. I like it. I like it because I like to pick on Scott Richmond, the other Eagles fan. So I like dissension in the locker room, man. So, what is next on the horizon for AJ? I mean, do you think he's still going to be around, or are they going to try to patch it up, or how do we think this is going to end
June
up?
1st.
He's done.
Wow.
He's a Patriot.
You think so? All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is just salary cap ramifications of going to post June 1st cut, so you can spread that cap hit over the next 2 years over hitting the cap this year solely. So I think he's done. I just think it's a matter of where. I also read the Rams were really close to trading for him too.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah,
so
I saw that too. Could you imagine the Rams with AJ Brown? Holy shit!
Him and Nakua?
Oh my god!
Yep.
Oh my god!
we
NFL
gotta see what,
better block it like they did like the Lakers and the back in the day. Maybe they block that shit.
We got to see what kind of year AJ Brown, by his standards, had a down year last year. I know there was some, maybe not the best relationship with the coaching staff and Jalen Hurts. That might have had something to do with it. But look, this is going to be. I think it's a deal worth making if you're a Patriots fan, right?
I hope not.
To get their young quarterback a weapon on a receiver. When you look at the Patriots team, went to the Super Bowl last year, but their wide receiver room was not that great. Their offensive line was not that great, and they didn't have a great pass rush. It's hard to believe that a team will make it to the Super Bowl with those three challenges, right? And Drake May had a successful year. He struggled in the playoffs a little bit. But yeah, I think, the combination, if AJ Brown comes back and be the guy that he was 2 years ago, I think the combination of him and Drake May could be huge.
But from all indications of what I've read and listened to by dudes that played the game, is that they didn't feel like it was really AJ Brown losing. Instead, it was the fact that they felt like Philadelphia was predictable in the way that they were using AJ Brown. Like, hey, if he lines up right here, 80% of the time he's running this route. If he's right here in the slot, he's running this route. So when other teams pick up on your tendencies and they basically can, rule him out of it or predict exactly where he's going to go, you take away some of his effectiveness. And I think that's a lot of where he had some struggles with the Philadelphia game plan and what was happening with him, why they ultimately struggled. So
they missed Kellen Moore last year for sure.
They missed him a lot. But I think that relationship has run its course. And sometimes you see it. Once a dude gets his ring, he's like, okay, I got my ring. Now I want my stats and I want my money and I want to make the haul. Because I've already checked the one box I got to check by getting the Super Bowl. So I don't know, man. It just feels like that relationship has run its course in Philadelphia to me. I think the post June 1st cap hit to spread over the next 2 years is what all they're waiting on. I'm with Rob. I think the deal is there. We just don't know about it yet.
Yeah, we're waiting to see
think the deal is
what kind of draft capital.
New England?
I don't know if it's New England. I think they've already talked to whoever's going to give them the deal and said, hey, we've agreed to this. You know what we're waiting on. We're waiting on the salary cap ramifications. The other team is saying, cool, because you still get him in terms for mini camps so he can come in and get immersed. Like, these voluntary camps are not something he's going to do anyway at this point in his career.
Yeah, so, all indications are it's the New England Patriots, but we'll kind of wait and see once that's official.
So if it was New England, Kansas City, or LA, boy, that's a good move for any one of those teams.
I hope it's LA. Get him out the AFC.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I know I'm biased, but I wonder, and it's conspiracy JQ again, if what happened with Rossini and Braybo, where they're like, we cannot allow AJ Brown to go to New England. We can't. We cannot allow that to happen. I don't know if they'll grease some wheels and saying, hey, we'll give you a wink, a cop pick if you go to the Rams or the Kansas City or something like that.
So the NFL's going to do that. The NFL's going to try to block that crap.
Because if he goes to New England, all that they're trying to damp down comes right back up as soon as that trade is made. So I'm not saying that. Okay.
They better not go, man. Let Vrabel.
I don't know that to be
thing, man. Come on, man.
I don't know that to be the case, but that's how the pipeline of the Philadelphia to New England discussions. People are saying, well, now it makes sense why she kept reporting that because she was with Buddy. So if that didn't happen in this trade, then their relationship comes back up. Does the NFL really want that going into the season?
Absolutely not.
NFL gonna block it like the NBA did with Chris Paul. Huh?
That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I just said. They can block that shit. Like, nah, man. Send him to LA. Send him as far away from New England as possible.
Give them a tumble finger. Huh?
Send him as far as that.
And make them send Devontae on the way back so that makes everybody feel good about, like, oh, that's a good trade. And then you don't worry about the New England piece of it. But I don't know that to be the case. My mind works like that. I can't help it.
So, all right. Rob, JQ, or I'm sorry, Gary, anything else you want to add to that?
Oh, no, that was covered thoroughly.
There it is. Just want to shout out to Mookie Betts. I'm a fan of Mookie Betts, even though sometimes the Dodgers piss me off sometimes. But it's all good. Obviously, series opener against the Rockies. Mookie went ballistic, man. 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 15-1 route. And then, obviously, he followed up tonight, man, and getting right back in the lineup. So, Dodgers are looking to stay hot, obviously, from that perspective.
Yeah, they've been playing good baseball of late. They had going through a little.
Braves been playing good baseball too. JK is the Braves, but it's all good. I know
the Braves got the best record in the majors.
Let's go. We lost to the freaking Red Sox tonight, though. But damn, it's all good.
Yeah, but Mookie Betts before last night, he was even struggling, right?
Yeah.
That was definitely a breakout game for him to try to get back to, what he's capable of. But yeah. The Dodgers look like they're back to their winning ways here of late. And they moved ahead of the Padres by about 3 games now. The Padres had actually passed them up. But, man, you see this Mookie Betts batting average for the year?
He's like 190 or something like that, ain't he?
186.
Oof.
Yeah.
He
got hot to get to 186. Like it was like 160 for a second.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah.
Yes, you got him batting in the middle of the lineup. You got him batting number 5 with a 186 batting average.
It's 162 games. You pay him that money, he gonna work his way out of it.
He making stats like your boy over here, Randall over here. But it's all good. Let's go. Oh,
wow,
man. Okay, I'm gonna leave Julius Randle alone. All right. Show some love to the Yankees, man. Obviously, they dismantled the Royals too, 15-1, 24 hits, most
6 homers, and 6 home runs too.
The most, the most on the road since 1974. This is the first time in franchise history every single player in the Yankees starting lineup had at least 2 hits. Not even the Murders Road team did that, man. That's crazy, man. So there you go.
Wow.
Hey, the Yankees have consistently beaten bad teams this year. The Yankees' opportunity is to beat some. I mean, I know they beat the Rays on Sunday with Aaron Judge. Hit a 2-run shot in the 9th inning to win it. It was 0-0 the entire game. But they have consistently beaten these kind of teams. They've got to find a way to start beating their good teams if they want to go a long way. And look, I mean, there's really only.
This is the force.
I think there's only 3 teams in the entire American League that has winning records.
It was 5 last time I checked.
5, okay. And what was that? The Yankees, the Rays, the Guardians, and I know even the A's. They're leading the AL West, and they got a losing record.
But that's why it keeps fluctuating. So I haven't looked at it the other day. Hold on. Yeah, it's not good in the American League. It's bad. I'm pulling up though.
You're right. It's 4. It's 4 teams now, and the White Sox are the 4th. So there's only 4 teams in the American League with winning records right now.
Because Seattle's a game under winning the West.
Yep, absolutely. I still think Seattle is a team to beat in that division.
I
think at some point they're gonna get it together.
Yeah, they got to get Cal the hit because you talking about.
And you're right, Rob. The Yankees have got to beat. They've got to beat the good teams, and that's why I wasn't really, so up on this topic about even mentioning it. When it gets to playoff time, if their bats go cold again, except especially Aaron Judge, he's just horrible in the playoffs.
Yep.
And until that changes, it's especially as weak as the American League is, they better be doing something in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, with the way the American League looking this year, if you're the Yankees, you got to get to the World Series. I mean, it's World Series a bust with the way the American League is looking so far right now, right?
Right.
I mean, it's World Series a bust if you're the Yankees for sure. This is an opportunity for you to have an easy run to the World Series, and then at that point, you never know. That's why you play the games.
Yeah, the American League is
play
crazy.
To win the games. Hello.
You talk about 4 teams in the American League. Every team in the National League Central is above 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's even with the Cubs losing 10 in a row.
They lost 10 in a row and they're still above 500.
Well, then our luck, it's Tampa Bay that we got to worry about in our own division.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Gosh, really?
Tampa, obviously they are one of the lowest payrolls in the major leagues every year, but man, they just seem to do a good job. They're just a well-ran organization, well-coached. They just don't have the resources. And they play in the dump. Well, the dump might have got fixed after the hurricane now. Though.
Yeah, that was probably better now. But I've told you this in multiple years. I said I don't understand why a L.A., New York, both of them, a Boston, one of them has not gone to the Tampa Bay, either the president or the vice president of Scotland, and said, man, I will triple your salary to come do this for us. Because they do more with less every single year. And that dude is saying, man, I love me some Tampa Bay. I love the weather and the beach and all that. He is not leaving the Rays, and I don't understand why a big team with the Cubs,
It's
these
Kevin
top
Cash.
teams. Listen, I would make him an offer he can't refuse if I had the money.
Kevin Cash, he's got to be one of the best managers in baseball, man. What he does,
Not just a manager, but just think about the scouting. You're finding dudes, you're trading other dudes, you're getting assets, but you keep hitting on these mid and low level prospects. They blossom in that system. Like they have a plan and they are fulfilling it. And if I'm a big market team with the money, I'm gonna say, man, come do that for us on a bigger scale. Because it's listen, I give them credit where credit is due. They're like OKC. And the fact that they just keep identifying talent and restocking the covers, and you're like, how are they still doing this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And if I was just talking to another buddy of mine earlier this evening who was also a Yankees fan, and how in the hell is Aaron Boone still the manager? I mean, the Yankees would be even better off with Kevin Cash as the manager.
Don't get me started on that.
I ain't gonna talk about Aaron Boone. I got a lot of love for the Boone family. They're deep in the Reds history, so I'm not gonna go here and say that about it.
No, we're gonna say it for you.
Yeah,
that's what y'all think.
Absolutely. Get his ass out of there.
That was him, his brother, Barry Larkin's brother, and I think that Aaron Boone's dad and the uncle were like the third base coach. It was like the first time like you had two brothers both playing the game, and then Aaron Boone. I'm pretty sure Aaron Boone's dad was the manager in that game. It was Cincinnati. So I got love for the Boones. I'm not gonna hate them on the platform.
Oh no.
Like I said, Gary and I got you covered. We'll hate them.
Yeah, we'll there's enough hate there to go around. Okay? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we saw that. Rich
Gary not kissing up to you on that one.
That's fine. I'm gonna let y'all say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Oh man,
that is interesting about Jeff Van Gundy, the coach of the Trailblazers. We'll talk about that later. I'm kind of curious about that myself, Rich. By the way, so would you like that, Gary, if he's the coach, holding folks' legs and stuff like that, man? Just for dear
absolutely. Like either of the Van Gundys,
Van Gundy
Blazers.
I just like Thiago Splitter did a bad job.
What? I don't either.
Yeah, Thiago didn't do a bad job, so I don't know why they're trying to, they got like 20.
I thought so too. I thought he was just going to get that job. I thought he did a heck of a job this year.
They responded to him. And given the way that they're running that operation now with the cost cutting measures, it seems like you can get him a lot cheaper than you get a Van Gundy.
Yeah.
He done fired like 70 employees, man. That's nuts, man. So that's a whole other
shoestring budget.
Yeah. They said he called him El Cheapo in Portland. That's his nickname, right? No, for real. I read that. His nickname in Portland is El Cheapo.
Yeah, he's stripping. Well, also sometimes you just strip it down to the nuts to get the people in the positions you want.
They say that he makes his employees on road trips. If the hotel don't let them have an extended checkout, and he makes them check out early. He pulled
Cincinnati Bengals over there. He pulled the Bengals.
Yeah, he pulled some Mike Brown shit on them. Thank you, there, Andre.
Y'all gotta get a cab. Man. I'm sorry.
Paul Allen has got to be rolling over in his grave right now.
Okay, I see. I just called it straight there, Dre.
Okay.
No, I was just joking. Man.
No.
It's the truth. It's the truth, right?
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, listen. Listen, noted.
No, man.
No,
that's exactly what you would say. The same thing, man.
Noted. I was the same thing.
Gary don't want kissing up to JQ tonight.
It don't have to be kissing up. That was just a shot from left field. Just like them sorry ass Bengals. Damn,
you said sorry ass. I didn't say sorry ass. I didn't say sorry ass.
Listen, you implied
sorry ass. I didn't say sorry ass.
Sorry, cheap ass Bengals. Is that better?
I said I did say just pull the
There's some other cheap franchises. There's some other cheap franchises. But I see which one you went to. It's okay.
No. That's what you would say. The same thing. I would say cheap ass. I just said they're cheap. Man. You added the extra stuff in there. Oh man! All right.
I'm your interpreter.
Dicky, you seem like you said something about Mike Brown earlier in the show yourself.
I did, but that don't mean Dre got to do it.
You know what? I mean, I showed you some love. Talk about TJ. Who's your mama? I was gonna get TJ. Who's your mama jersey, man? Because I just thought that was.
Hey.
I remember that commercial. Oh, you remember that commercial back in the day for fantasy football?
Yeah, I was gonna say TJ. Who's your mama?
He said, "Yeah, he drafted who's your, what's his name?
Man.
TJ Hoosier. Now you got me want to call him
Masada.
JQ, this last message from Richard.
Wow. I saw him. What's on? Generated by Boone. Yes, sir.
Yep.
I remember that game.
Let's talk about some dream college football matchups. There's one that I'm circling. I'm double, triple circling, double, triple checking. And that is number one. That is the LSU Tigers at the Ole Miss Rebels. September the 12th, 2026. Man,
it's like,
man, Lane Kiffin better have on bulletproof vest.
He got the coach from the booth. I thought this was like all time. This is like from the season that's on the schedule, like our things that we thought we would want to see. Like all time.
I think what I was, maybe I didn't clarify very well on here, but what matchup would you like to see that's not on the schedule?
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Man,
but that is a good one, Andre, though, because Lane Kiffin's gonna have to.
And we getting that one.
So this is what you want? This is like a made up like anyone that you'd like to see for this year or just in general?
Yeah, it kind of a dream matchup you would want to see with this season, whether it's in the playoffs, conference championship games, what have you.
You know what's crazy is I don't really have one because I feel like the ones we want to see we're gonna get.
Yeah, Ohio State at Oregon, you're gonna see that one. There's not really.
We'll play Texas.
Yeah,
if things work out, we'll play LSU.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna happen.
Hurricanes. Back in the day, you had the Hurricanes and Ohio State. That was back in the day. That was a big thing.
I would love to see that happen again.
That's kind of something that you're kind of thinking. You're trying to pull like some classic rivalries.
Who?
Man,
I know who I want to see in the playoffs.
I want to see LSU play Georgia.
Yeah.
LSU?
I was going to play Georgia.
Oh, yeah, that was on my list too. LSU and Georgia for the SEC championship game, or LSU against Texas. That was on my list. But even outside of LSU, a game I would like to see is Miami against Notre Dame in the playoffs.
Yeah, I saw that. That was interesting too.
Yeah.
This is some bullshit because I don't have any Indiana.
Whoa.
That's okay, man. That's all good.
I like to see Notre Dame, Ohio State too. Freeman going against his alma mater.
Why? They can't be that's when they count for real. Why do you want to see them lose again? Yeah.
I like to see LSU against Ohio State, or LSU against Notre Dame too.
LSU Ohio State will probably be good. LSU Ohio State I think will be good. I feel like it's just hard now with the expansion of the playoffs because you feel like you're going to end up getting those things if they work out the way they should work out. So yeah. The thing is we've got the power ones that we feel like are going to play each other. Like I don't feel like USC is going to be great. I don't feel like Oklahoma is going to be great. So you don't have that. Hey, I'm going to get these traditional blue bloods to play each other because I think it might be one sided on one side versus the other. So, but yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing LSU and Ohio State, or Ohio State and Miami again.
And remember, whenever the Florida used to be good back in the day, you see Florida.
That's crazy that we have to say when Florida used to be good.
Right, but isn't that crazy? Florida, this was back in the Steve Spurrier days, man. You were like Florida's like they were like a whole problem. So
he's got a great
steakhouse, Georgia.
He's got a great steakhouse in Gainesville, by the way.
Yeah,
I was going to say Urban Meyer. Don't forget, Urban Meyer had a really good.
Yeah, Urban Meyer too. Yeah, with Tim Tebow. Yeah. So, but you just think about how Florida was like they were a whole problem, man. Georgia's like, oh shit,
Spurrier had them good every year.
Yeah, and he was
talking trash with it too.
Yeah, and that's you kind of miss those guys.
Pitch the ball around.
Miss the Florida State.
God, I hated it.
Yeah, and everyone, Georgia fans, they don't want to admit it, but they were fucking scared. Sorry, they were scared of Florida back in the day too, man. So that's a whole other conversation.
Hey, those were great games. All the Florida schools were good at the same time.
Chris Leak back in the day, freaking, you had some,
Yeah, in the 90s, that was college football was owned by Florida. Between Florida State, Miami, it was owned by those three schools.
Yeah.
And the fact that we haven't even talked about Florida State in any of these conversations is another indictment.
And so let's try to do an outside thing. Tennessee Tennessee, they've got one of the largest stadiums, right? Neyland Stadium, and they're not, that's just another school. Back when the Phil Fulmer in the day, it's like they just kind of went a little decline too, man, which is kind of crazy.
I don't have Tennessee in none of my dream matchups. They can kick rocks.
I don't have them in any matchups. I'm just saying, you see, like back in the day, how the schools were like, good, back then. So, they're not.
One of the challenges. Well, I mean, it could change with the nil environment, but you all know back in the day, Tennessee got most of their players from Virginia, Georgia, and North Carolina. Right? Because North Carolina didn't have a powerhouse program. Virginia didn't have a powerhouse program. And at the time, Georgia was not like the elite SEC school, right? They probably got a few players sprinkled in from Tennessee, and Florida, and places like that.
Yep.
I mean, that could change with the nil environment. But, when Kirby Smart got to Georgia and he was able to lock down the state and most of the best players, that kind of almost eliminated. And even to a certain extent, Mark Richt was getting the best players out of Georgia. He just didn't have the results that Kirby Smart was having, right? So that kind of hurt Tennessee in their recruiting. You go back in the day and look at Jamal Lewis, running back from the Atlanta area, went to Tennessee, right?
Yep.
The guy that played
safety. Price?
Huh?
Did Phillips Price play for Tennessee?
Yeah, he did.
Who?
Yeah,
who?
Phillips Price.
Who? Philip Price. Yeah, Phillips Price. That motherfucker.
Yeah.
But to your point, Tennessee and Nebraska, with no real natural recruiting in-state advantages, they have to recruit nationally to make their programs be self-sufficient. But when you can't do that, if you don't have that guy as the head coach and he doesn't have a good recruiter, you're more likely to fall off than some of those other schools like a Georgia, any California school, Texas schools, Florida schools, where Louisiana, where you just have natural ingrown talent that you just got to keep in the state. Tennessee doesn't have that, and they're still trying to get that back.
Yep.
I know Gary's going to hate this too, but you do want certain teams to be good to kind of have like those nostalgic matchups. Like you want USC to be good because USC, Notre Dame, there are some classic games, man, just back in the day, man. So I know
I think USC's got an outside shot to make the playoffs this year.
But I'm just saying, back in the day, like Pete Carroll had that shit humming, man. You're like, man,
there you go.
So it was just one of those things where it's just you have like these nostalgic matchups in your head, man. Every now and then you'd have like an upstart, you'd have like West Virginia come out of nowhere, you had, Texas was trying to do their thing, and then now it's just
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech, same thing. You had some squads that are just like, hey, we're gonna, represent.
Let's go back to that. No, you don't. Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma in the Big 12 is not going to do anything. He couldn't have Oklahoma do that in the SEC. He ain't going to have USC be able to do that in the Big 10. You stop that. Lincoln Riley is a fraud. He's a fraud. And
I'm
the playoffs is at 4 teams. It seemed like Oklahoma was in it every year, but they got blown out every year.
They was also getting in from the Big 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even in 2019, LSU played them in that playoff, and Joe Burrow just monkey stuffed Jalen Hurts in that playoff game.
Bob Stoops in Oklahoma, that dude was terrible, man. Every time I look at
I said what I said.
Yeah. I hated Bob Stoops too, man. That's Oklahoma back in the day.
He rolled them frauds. He rolled them frauds and got them Heisman trophies. Them dudes ain't been shit in the NFL, and he ain't done nothing anywhere else he been. He's a fraud. I don't care what nobody say. I said it with my chest.
Say it with your chest.
Loved it.
We're gonna get these good topics here. Top 5 college coaches. Thanks for putting this in here, Rob. I don't know why.
It's only 2 of them.
Cignetti, Ryan Day.
Okay, sorry, it's 3.
Manny, and Marcus Freeman. There you go.
Okay, it's 4.
You can put Kiffin and you can put Steve Sarkisian at the bottom mission.
Only when Steve is drinking. We gotta see what Wayne do at LSU. Listen, I'm gonna go Kirby 1. I'm gonna go Day 2. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go Cignetti 2.
Let's go.
I'm gonna go Cignetti 3. I'm gonna go Freeman 4.
Yeah. What about Lanning?
I'm gonna go Dan Lanning 4.
I like Lanning.
Yeah, what has he done? What has he done for real? What has he done for real?
Who made the playoffs last year? Oregon or Notre Dame?
Shit.
Who would you rather have as your coach, Dan Lanning or Marcus Freeman?
Damn, I'd rather have Marcus Freeman though.
I'd rather
Thank
have
you.
Marcus Freeman, but
Well, then you answer my question.
When you look at the results, though, Dan Lanning has done more than Marcus Freeman so far.
I know Marcus Freeman has also made the championship game too, though. I mean, he lost, but he made it. I think Dan Lanning there's a lot of hype right now. Not that he doesn't have a good thing happening in Oregon, but I'm not totally sold on it. He's a good coach. Don't get me wrong, but there's tiers to it. I just don't think he's in that other tier yet.
I think if he's in the top, if he's in that conversation, it would have to be at 5.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Let's keep moving here because there's a couple things I definitely want to hit. I definitely want to hit on, Wemby. He's such a lightning rod topic, and he did kind of lay an egg, the one night. Now it's tough, right? 20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 of 15 shooting. He only reached 20 points because he had 12 free throws, something crazy like that.
Yeah, with SGA.
What'd you say?
SGA wasn't shooting a good percentage, but he was getting to the free throw line. Good players get to the free throw line when they don't have a good shooting percentage. But my problem with him is 6 rebounds. There's no chance you're 7'4", 7'5", you only get 6 rebounds.
That's the thing.
I said that earlier today. I said he should never have 10 should be his minimum when it comes to rebounds. Minimum. It really should have more than 10, but 10 should be his absolute floor when it comes to rebounds.
12.
Now, I can go with that too. But
3 rebounds a quarter.
Yeah.
No way.
27% from the field, though. I mean, he's got to be better than that. If the Spurs going, I still think this series is going to go 7 games. I think the Spurs are going to win tomorrow night, and I still think OKC wins the series in 7. Some of these teams, and I'm pulling for the Spurs. I'm with you. I'm pulling for the Spurs. I'd rather see Wemby, the global icon, going against City of New York.
Chet had 11. Did he really have 11?
11 what?
Rebounds? Was it 11 rebounds? Is that what Rich said? Holy crap.
Shucks. I know Isaiah Hartenstein had a double-double last night. Didn't he have 12 points, 15 rebounds?
Yeah. I mean, he's been a problem.
Wow. He's not wrong. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Ahead,
Hartenstein had a double-double on last night, and he's playing physical, throwing his body around on Wemby, and he still had a double-double on last night. But, to me, this is one of those things. Spurs are a young team.
Yeah.
Wemby's 22. Stephon Castle's 21. Dylan Harper, I think, is 19 to 20 years old. It's a young team, and you look at the history in the NBA, every team had to overcome another team, right? You look, the Pistons had to overcome the Celtics. The Bulls had to overcome the Pistons.
I understand with that, your concept, Rob, with that, where these teams had to overcome the great teams prior to them. But with this Oklahoma team and all of their draft capital, they may be good his whole career.
Yeah. But I think at some point, this Spurs team, when you look at it, when you look at Wemby, when you look at Stephon Castle, you look at De'Aaron Fox, and then, Dylan Harper was number 2 pick in the draft. This is just his rookie year. So he's going to continue to get better each and every year too, right? So this is a window right now where the Spurs potentially can have a big 4, right? Potentially, right? So you look at the next year or two, Wemby's going to keep getting better. Castle's going to keep getting better.
Absolutely.
These guys are going to keep getting better, right? So I think they'll have an opportunity to surpass OKC in the next year or two. And Wemby arguably is going to be the best player in the game. So they'll have an opportunity to bypass OKC.
Because what you're seeing in these games that he's losing is they're getting real physical with him. Now, for other teams, it's a copycat league. These are all copycat leagues, whether you're dealing with baseball, basketball, or football. And in these copycat leagues, they're seeing Wemby, now he's going to deal with a hell of a lot more punishment, a lot more contact throughout the regular season. Absolutely, he will.
Nope.
Well, Wemby's got a dog mentality to him, though, too. And I think, he will continue to obviously get a little stronger. I don't think he'll ever be like a big, bulky guy, but he'll continue to get a little bit stronger to be able to handle physicality. And this is the first time he's going this far in the playoffs. I think he's going to learn from that. And whoever his strength and conditioning coach is going to continue to get his body ready for those kind of long seasons. And how the NBA. I just think, look, I hope the Spurs come back and win this series. I think they win tomorrow and lose Game 7. That's just my thoughts. But I do think he'll continue to get stronger and be able to handle those kind of things. And he prepares for that, right? I don't know if y'all seen some of the practice facilities.
Yes.
They have the coaches banging on him in practice, pulling on him, grabbing him, doing so. And he's asking for that, right? He wants to, kind of get that kind of gauge. I just think he's got a dog mentality. He's a warrior. He wants to win. I heard Kendrick Perkins say this the other day. His grandmother would say he's an old soul, and that's what Wemby is. He's an old soul. He's young, but he's an old soul. So I think he's a guy that's already mature beyond his years and is going to continue to grow. Just my thoughts. I think the Spurs have an opportunity. It may not be this year. It may not even be next year, but in the next few years, maybe next year, I think they have the potential to definitely surpass OKC.
Well, I mean, I think they're playing with house money right now, obviously, because they match up really well versus OKC. That's been happening. They've really played them well. So they're a young team. They don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, basically, I mean that is compliment. Like, we're not supposed to. Are we here? We're making progress.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think what has to happen in this, and they're exposing it. And while you saw Wemby put the hit out on Buddy from OKC, the dude they traded from Philadelphia to OKC,
Jared
McCain. But listen, he put a hit out on that dude, and they found him twice hard. Teams have been trying to do this with Wemby all year. The issue, the thing is that coming along to this point is the refs have called those fouls on other teams for doing that. Isaiah Hartenstein is fouling Wemby from the time he gets across half court and just laying into him, hooking his arm, beating him up. These are calls that SGA gets that Wemby is not getting in these conference finals right now. So there's going to have to be a conversation of, have you watched Lou Dort play defense? The things he can get away with, you cannot play Lou Dort defense on SGA and not have SGA shoot 30 free throws. Like there has to be some coming to Jesus moment of what happens where you can't allow.
That's when coaches got to come in.
Yeah, but it's got to be a league thing. It's got to be a league thing. You cannot let them play that brand of defense, and then we try to put that defense on them, and then they go to the free throw line 30 to 40 times. There has to be some kind of meeting in the middle about it. Hartenstein is fouling Wemby all the time in these playoffs, and you cannot do the same thing in the SGA without him going to the free throw line 30 times, and you can't have that kind of.
Oh man, SGA man, they hit his pinky finger. He's falling on the ground.
Listen, he's jumping to people, kicking him with his ankle and getting a call. But Hartenstein can hook his arm and pull him like that and take him out the play, and there's no whistle. Like it's.
I think you misunderstood what I was saying, Jake. I wasn't talking about what I was talking about. I'm talking about that there's going to be a maturation process, kind of similar to what Rob was saying with the Spurs. You're gonna grow because at this juncture right now, even though the physicality, he's still a young player. At the end of the day, so you're going to go through some growing pains, getting beat up, and all the fun stuff. So that's what I was more referring to as far as
there has to be a maturation of the whistle too. Like
that's true too. I wasn't talking about the whistle. I wasn't talking about the whistle. I was talking about him as a player because everyone has gone through this. You're not just gonna, I'm at the top of the mountain. You got to go through shit to actually win. That's what I'm talking about. Like Jordan had to go through this. Everyone has to go through getting their ass kicked. And be like, all right, now you're ready because you can't just. I'm here. Like what the hell, bro? You got to earn that shit. You can't just.
And it feels like they're doing that to him. But I don't feel like SGA really had to go through that. I feel like he got that whistle early on to where he just gets that whistle and Wemby doesn't.
That could be. There's probably some truth to that. Obviously there's reflective of that, but that was my perspective. It wasn't like, Wemby, you suck, and you're not getting.
No, I didn't.
Like I said, at the end of the day, it was just like
SGA pushes off almost every single time, whether he's shooting a jump shot, whether he's driving to the basket, his legs are out. It's in an unnatural way, as per NBA rules, and he does get away with that. And I've noticed that he's gotten away with that, and not only just in the playoffs, but
past couple of years.
Last couple of years, absolutely.
I've done a lot of,
And you notice he shoots the ball like he's in good form and everything, but then all of a sudden yeah. I mean, they could touch his finger. It's and he's gonna fall on the ground. And
Well, is it just as bad as Carl Anthony Towns? Is that the whole conversation too? Because he was going through that too as well back in the day.
I heard Adam Silver say they got some plans in the works to help the officials using AI and stuff like that. I don't know what that's going to do, but I also think it comes down to coaching, right? You even see this in the NFL. You watch the coaches talking to the refs before the game, and the coaches on each team will say, hey, this is what I've been seeing on film from their right guard here. This is what he does. And so coaches will point those kind of things out to the refs before the game. And historically, the good NBA coaches were good at that too. Phil Jackson was the master at it, right?
Yep.
Phil Jackson, if you go back, I know all of us watched basketball in the 90s. If you go back and watch some of those press conferences with Phil, he would anytime the Bulls would lose, he would always point out the calls that they didn't get in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And he would analyze those calls. And the next game, they always got those calls.
Yep.
So,
the coaches in this day and age, they can't call out the officiating like they could back then. These guys are
that's true too.
And they know it.
But there's a way to do it, though, I think. I think there's a way to do it.
There has to be more leeway in there. I agree with you, Rob. There has to be more leeway in their true thoughts on how the game went, whether my team didn't play well and it stunk, or the officials cost us this game.
Mm-hmm. They missed the goaltending. And they missed the challenge they missed the goaltending call, which was blatant to everybody that saw it. It went off Buddy's leg, and they didn't give him a chance to review it. Listen, I agree with you. I'm gonna say it like this, and we can, and I'll be done with it. I think you're right, Rob. I feel like if I'm the coach and the owner or the GM, we got to have a code word where we both see the same thing happen in a game, and whether it's banana or pineapple, you text it to such and such or such and such, and that code word says we get fined tonight. We're getting fined tonight. I'm gonna go to the podium, and everything I feel like I need to get off that we both all saw together to send a message to the rest of the NBA. I'm gonna say it. $250,000 fine be damned. We're gonna sell some lemonade on the corner. We're gonna collect some goddamn pennies from the people coming into the stadium. but I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna know I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna share in this fine. But it's going to be to move us forward in this series or in this playoffs, because we got to get the level footed on here. And I just don't think San Antonio has gotten to that point. I just don't know when Oklahoma City got this level of cachet, right? Like the Lakers are the Bulls.
What I would like?
You know what I mean? It's wild.
I would like a surprise PowerPoint. Having a clicker down here, and he got 4 or 5 of these highlights. Now, I didn't like the officiating in this particular call, and it went off of so-and-so's foot, and here it is, and it's right behind him on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the official right there, 5 feet from it, looking at the play. Everybody on TV saw it. Here's the second play. Click. And go through all that. Now, that person is going to get a huge fine.
But they do that, though, because they make the refs available to the pool reports where they have to answer the questions, and they have the review of it. So, but they don't embarrass them by doing it with the players with the clicker behind it. But
so we don't get to see it, but
you don't get to see it. But
that's what I want to see.
Yes, but because you don't want to embarrass the officials, and that's why you don't get to see it. They do that though. To some level of that, they do that. They just do it offline.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And look, before the game, just like I've seen it. You all have all seen it. NFL coaches talk to the refs before the game, and they always point out stuff that the other team does that they've noticed on film, right? And the NBA coaches can do the same thing, right? To have those kind of conversations either before the game. I know, like I said, Phil Jackson did it in the press conference all the time in the 90s. And it seemed like all the time when he had those moments, they got those calls in the next game.
Next game.
Yeah. Yeah, the next game. So, and, the coach for the Spurs is a young coach too, right? So it's probably something he needs to learn on how to handle those situations. Is it best for him to have those conversations? Maybe he's having them. We're not seeing it. I don't know. But he needs to be having those kind of conversations and pointing those kind of things. He needs to bring his iPad and show them, diagram, hey, this is what's going on, and show them to the referees.
But you know what's crazy is OKC's coach is young too, but it just feels like after that championship last year, but even somewhat during that run, I don't know where they got to the point where OKC just got such benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? With the rest where I'm gonna let you do this and I'm gonna call this on you like they're Kobe or you know what I'm saying, or Jordan or LeBron. It's like, how did they achieve that status so fast with the rest of the league to where they just give them that whistle and that benefit of the doubt just that quickly into their prime contender kind of window? It's just been a little odd because to your point, most other teams, you got to climb up this mountain, get knocked down, you got to go over this hurdle, get knocked down, you got to go over the hurdle again to get to this. It's like they ascended it so quickly and became such a favorite of the league and the rest. I think that's really, to your point, Rob, of the people that sit here and have this conversation about it to this level and have been watching it for so long. It's like, how did they jump the line? It feels like, how did they jump the line so fast to where they get just such this benefit of the doubt all the time as a young team, where all these other teams just had to, army crawl to get to that level, and they're already there.
Well, keep in mind, OKC had some seasons where they were number 1 seed and they got knocked out in like the second round.
But that was a whole different team, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you talk about those Durant, Westbrook, Harden teams?
No, I'm talking about these OKC teams. A few years ago when they didn't have Isaiah Hartenstein, they struggled. They were number 1 seed. And
but I mean, if we talk about
when they got Hartenstein last year, he seemed to be like the missing piece because they didn't have any size. And when it got to the playoffs, they were number 1. So they had a few years.
Yeah,
where
you know what? You were right. Mm-hmm. You're right.
But still, that's not enough. That's not enough to.
Now, I still don't agree with them getting the calls.
To get you to that point where you're that team that, you've got the such respect of all of the, I guess, or admiration of all of the officials in the game, that you can take them off to the side and talk to them about it or whatever, and then sure as shit they're making the same calls. We've watched their superstar SGA do that shit all year long to all these teams, and he's doing it in the playoffs. You'd think that one of them would say, you know what, let's knock that shit off. That's a foul. That's an offensive foul. You're kicking your leg out. That's not a natural shooting motion. You're throwing your arm out to the side so they brush up against it, and then you throw yourself on the ground. This sort of thing.
Yeah, sorry. My bad, Dre. I know we took this longer than we were supposed to take it.
That's why they're going to win it in 6.
No, it's going to go 7.
I had all disrespect for the no respect for the NBA when they stopped calling traveling and regular stuff, man. Them jokes are taking like 10 steps, man. It's a whole other conversation.
And it's going to go 6.
Listen, you might be right. I think 7. The travel piece of it. That's weird to me. But it's the, hey man, you watching dude go to the hole, get his wrist and his elbow slapped, and fall down and get no call, and another dude come down and catch your elbow on the outside on the screen, and you call a foul. And I was like, man, come on, man. If that's not a foul, that can't be a foul. And I think that's where they lose to average viewer. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's got to be something you feel like, for not only just for people like us who watch it, but for the average viewer, like when you see it, you're like, that's a foul. That should be a foul. When you see that happen, it doesn't get called, and something lesser gets called on the other team, and that keeps happening, you start to lose the viewership of like, okay, this just doesn't make sense.
So if you've got 3 officials and they're wanting one team or another, don't you think that team has a sizable advantage over the other team?
100%.
That's why I'm saying it's going to go 6.
You think the referees want OKC to win, or the Thunder, the Chiefs of the NBA, get all the calls?
It feels like
no. You know what? Hasn't it looked like that to you?
Mm-hmm.
It has, but you know what? So they want money.
So I was really
Game 7 is an extra game in Oklahoma City where they get to celebrate on their home court going to the finals. Never forget that piece of it. Money still talks.
Yeah.
And that's the money's really for the networks because the NBA's already got their money with the contract.
But you gotta make the partners. You know how it is. You gotta make the partners proud. You gotta make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're already watching New York beat the brakes off of fools, so you gotta have one of these go 7.
Yeah.
Richard
You know what
said.
they want?
Richard said that it started in the 70s and it's just gotten worse, and it has.
Because I feel like if the Oklahoma City, we can move on. I feel like if the Oklahoma City San Antonio series goes to a game 7, then the NBA Finals, if it ends up going to like a game 6, will end on Father's Day or somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, there's a little conspiracy theory thing too there, and I like it.
I'm always about conspiracy with the NBA, man. That league has always got some questions for me, but we're not going to go down that path tonight. Let's do some last topics, and we'll wrap this up because we went clearly longer than expected.
Sorry about that.
And that's totally fine. So we're not going to get to a lot of
Oh,
topics.
it was a good conversation.
Yeah, straight good conversation.
Topical.
I'm just going to make this note because this is the one time I get to gloat here. The College World Series is taking place the June 12th to the 22nd. We got 64 teams. We know UCLA is the top seed. Number 2 is Georgia Tech. 3, Georgia, Auburn, North Carolina, Texas, Alabama, Florida. So I'm hoping Georgia Tech pulls that out, man. So, it should be fun. But what do you want to talk about, guys? Pick your topic. And let's wrap this up for sure. Because there's a lot of great topics that I could pick, but I want to make sure you guys can get to what you want to get to.
Man, y'all can't let UCLA win a national championship in baseball, man. They having a good year in sports, man. They won the women's championship. They won beach volleyball championship. Man, y'all can't let UCLA win another title.
I'll give you some love. Congratulations to LSU. They won it last year, man, 2025. So it's all good, man. So we're trying.
It ain't just that. You can't let the Big Ten keep doing this.
Yeah.
Sure. Keep going. Pick your topic.
Northwestern just won the Princeton. Northwestern just won the women's college lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
You guys realize lacrosse is the oldest sport in America?
Yep. I was somewhere else the other day, and that was a trivia question. Shout out to Dre.
Yeah.
I didn't
Been
know
around
that.
since 1100.
Yeah.
Finally, you guys taught me something.
Oh,
Finally, I've learned something here. Nice.
Yeah.
No.
You're that Yo. Roger. Yeah, that's gonna be rough, man. For you, Richard. Good luck with that one. Anyway, pick your topic, guys. Let's wrap this up. You guys, we can wrap up the show here. So I don't know, because I was gonna say, Rob, about Caruso being the MVP Finals, but I was gonna talk about that. Or
he's playing his ass off. He's not going to get the MVP, but he is playing his ass off.
Yeah,
no chance. It's either SJ or Heinstein if they win.
Yeah.
Crucial having an impact on both ends of the floor.
Oh man, he really is.
Oh, it's playing great ball.
Yeah, and you realize this OKC's bench is averaging over 51 points a game. Now, obviously, they had a game where they had 76 in one game. But they're averaging 51 points a game off the bench. Most teams are lucky to get 30 points off the bench. That's insane, the amount of production that they're getting from their bench.
I know that it's hate, JQ, for OKC. Do you think that's a better matchup, OKC and the Knicks, or do you think it's better between the Spurs and the Knicks, though?
I think as a fan, I would want to see the Spurs and the Knicks. I 100% agree. I think Wemby has captured the imagination. That part. I think he's the global piece of Rob touched on earlier. I think he's grabbed. It's not a lot of people hate San Antonio. You know what I mean? Like, they've had success, but they're not the Lakers or the Knicks or the Celtics where they gather that level, or the Bulls. They gather that level of hate of they've been so successful. I don't want to see them get knocked down the peg. I think people, when we talk about people not playing a whole bunch of games and appearing to be soft, I think Wemby has come across as somebody that has captured the imagination of the casual fan of that dude has that dog in him. He wants to win. He wants to put it in your face, but he's doing it respectfully. But you can just see that he really wants to win it. So I think him with his global appeal and the way he's playing ball against that Knicks fan base and going crazy after every win like they won a championship, I think if you're in the league, that garners more views because I don't know how many people in France or in Europe are really Oklahoma City Thunder fans, but you got a whole country of France rooting for the Spurs and having rooted for the Spurs for many, many, many years now.
Tony Parker, now Wemby.
Correct. So
whoever wins this Western Conference, is going to win the NBA championship.
You know what?
don't
I was
know.
with you. I was with you.
Don't count those Knicks out.
I don't
Yeah.
count them out anymore. I
No.
was the way the Knicks are blitzing everyone. I don't think it's as easy as we think anymore. I'm like,
I don't think so, man.
yeah. It's gonna be
I'm not
interesting.
saying the Knicks are going to win it, but what I am
Well,
saying
if they
is,
don't win it, then the Western Conference wins, which is
Well,
exactly what I said.
I'm not ready to predict the Knicks to win the finals, but I think what I am willing to say right now, I think it's going to be a heck of a finals.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I think the Knicks
I'm
have a
willing
shot to win
predict
it
that
too.
whoever wins the Western Conference wins the NBA championship.
The Knicks are, man,
In
they're
6
just,
or less.
people are saying, hey, they played the Hawks, they played the Sixers, they played Cleveland. Look, I know they haven't played the schedule that the Spurs and the Thunder have played, right? But man, the way they're beating teams, those are still NBA teams that they're beating, and they're beating them bad. Yeah, they're beating them bad. I would not be surprised if the Knicks win the championship, and I think they have a chance to win the championship.
I would be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked.
They're
man,
playing that well.
Well, then you will be.
They got two wings who could defend, and OJ Anunoby, and Bridges, and Mikal Bridges, right? They got two wings that can defend. Josh Hart is a dog, right?
Villanova
Jalen
boys.
Brunson is a dog.
Yep.
And even though Cat is a cat, but he can.
It's a cat.
My bad.
Mr. Robinson, you got some people on the bench. You got. I don't think
Sorry about that, but
I thought.
Even though Cat is a cat, he can still score.
I think before we were like,
still
we're
rebound.
play.
You got Mitchell Robinson on the defensive end and a rebound.
Cat.
Gary, I mean, it sounded good the first time, but then you see how the Knicks are playing. It's going to be interesting. That's
oh my goodness.
And,
you know what? I would say this for me. I think the Knicks match up better for Oklahoma City because Chet Holmgren is you could take his lunch money. You could take his lunch money. It's been proven that if you get in his chest and knock him down a couple of times, that's a great matchup for Cat. And Mitchell Robinson is a good matchup for Hartenstein. I think that. I think it's tougher for the Knicks if they play San Antonio because Wemby's just an alien with his length, but they got Castle, Fox, and Vassell out there on that outside that I feel like matches up pretty good with the Hart, Bridges, OG matchup. And then with Oklahoma City, you don't know what you're going to get with Jay Will. That clearly that hamstring is still not right. They're getting by right now against San Antonio. I don't know if you can get by like that against the Knicks. So again, if OKC plays the Knicks, I think the Knicks win that one. I think if the Knicks play the Spurs, it's a game 7, and I'm not ready to predict.
And you're picking the Spurs to win this series?
You know what? I don't know who's going to win this series. Now, it depends on this whistle. If the officials allow what happened to happen in this last game, you can't play against the team and the refs. You can say that we're making excuses for them. Yes, Wemby had a bad game, but there are clear and obvious things to be that are happening with the officials in this OKC San Antonio series. If they correct it over these next 2 games, but it looks to me like they're pushing an OKC New York finals from my perspective. And maybe they're doing that because they want the Knicks to win, because they feel the same way that I feel, that the Knicks playing against OKC with a banged up Jay Will is a much better matchup for the Knicks than the Spurs is with those young dogs. And
even with that OKC bench, is clearly the best bench in the league.
It is, but I think the way that New York constructed their team to beat Boston, to match up with a Jason Tatum and the Jaylen Brown, it transitions, it carries defensive wise to match up with those wings in OKC. They built that team that way with elite wing defenders to stop Boston, but you also need that to stop OKC.
I don't think Mike Brown is getting enough credit for the job that he's done, particularly in these playoffs, because the Knicks are so much better on the offensive side of the ball than they were last year under Tom Thibodeau. Their ball movement, their flow, their pace. They're putting up 130 almost every night. It's ridiculous, and their defense is playing well. And obviously, a lot of their defense is leading into transition points, right?
Yep.
Which good defense
It's also the
basketball
level of
typically does.
competition.
So what?
It's also the level of competition.
Gary has no belief in the Eastern Conference.
Hey, I'm just going to say this.
Of course I don't. I've watched a lot of basketball this year. Do you believe in the Eastern Conference?
I believe in these Knicks coming out of the Eastern Conference, the way they're playing.
And the other teams that they've
those are still NBA teams that they're beating.
That's what you're saying.
And they're beating about 30
points. Those are still NBA teams. The question is, those are still NBA teams, but the level of competition that is not the same with that both teams have faced. Either one of these teams coming out of the West.
They've had a lighter road, but it's a certain thing to be said for not playing with your food. Like, they're beating the brakes off of them. Like, they're not eking by in these games. They are beating the brakes off of teams in the playoffs. These are playoff teams. These aren't play-in teams. These aren't teams that are going into the lottery. They're whooping their ass. And there's something to stand for.
Hey, I will say
not the Hawks.
I am proud about the Hawks. We won 2 games.
Not the Hawks.
What's the guy?
What do you mean not the Hawks?
We're the Harry Douglas
that beat him twice.
That's what I'm saying. They're not beating the brakes
Harry
off
Douglas
the Hawks
on TV
until they did. Go ahead.
Harry Douglas. He played for the Falcons, right? Went to Louisville, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He said the Knicks should thank the Hawks for the way they're playing right now.
Exactly.
I know, and they should. And they should. But when they went down 2-1, they haven't lost again, right?
No.
No, they won.
We won 2.
They won 11 straight since then. They were down 2-1 to the Hawks.
The Hawks went up 2-1, and the Knicks have not lost since.
And we were the one beating the Hawks 60-19. 60-19 in one of those games.
Right? Yeah. I'm just saying we actually won 2 games.
Gary. The Knicks are playing fantastic basketball, and I'm going to give them credit. I think they can beat OKC. I'm not ready to say out loud that they would beat the Spurs. I think they could, but I can't say that they will.
Even though OKC is going to beat the Spurs.
Yeah, because they're cheating the shit out of the Spurs.
I mean, they ain't getting. He is right about not getting. Women ain't getting the calls. Like, SG's get everything. They're gonna make sure SG gets like 30 free throw attempts. So that's kind of tough, man. So
every time I don't understand, man. Every time he hits the floor, they call a foul.
And never again underestimate the windfall and the money. Do you know how crazy New York and the fans that are all over the world, especially here in America, how nuts they're going to go? They are celebrating like they are winning the championship after every single playoff win. If they mess around and win the title for the first time since 1973,
there won't be no more New York City.
Oh yeah,
New York.
There won't be no more New York
It's
City.
over.
It'd be like the Avengers. You know, every time they go to New York and the Avengers, they blow up the whole city.
New York City will be gone. Those people, they'll be living in Jersey and Connecticut. New York City will be over.
And the NBA 100% wants that.
Well, they haven't won a title since 1973. I think they won their first title in 1970, and they in their last title was in 73.
Spike Lee's trying to pay all his taxes.
That's a long. New York has always been the basketball mecca, and they haven't won a championship since 1973, and they are going crazy right now. It's ridiculous.
They should be going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and listen, it'll keep the NBA on the forefront when it goes into baseball and then for football into OTAs, because the Knicks fans are going to be partying all summer if they win the championship. They're going to be bonkers. The NBA 100% wants that. They can never tell me any otherwise. They can't.
All right, once you're playing the music, I guess that's enough.
It's like 12:30. We've been here we've been going like an extra.
I know I'm on the East Coast too, so it's 12:30 for me too.
I got to get up and go to work.
We're on the East Coast.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
East Coast.
I just don't get paid.
There are other French benefits to being married, though.
Okay, easy. Let's go.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for tuning in to another great edition of Talking Sports with the 12th Man We'll be back on next week. I'm available Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so y'all let me know what works. So stay tuned. We'll be back on next week talking sports with the 12th man. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we'll know what the NBA Finals matchup is going to be by then. We got NFL OTAs, baseball in full swing, and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Let's go. Shock the world 4-0 over the Colorado Avs, right? Look like we're going to be playing the Carolina Hurricanes. That's going to be a tough one. Carolina playing some good hockey right now, too. They just monkey stumped them Montreal tonight 4-0.
Hey, Richard, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Richard. And enough
for the
Oregon State talk.
Yeah, don't count the halves out yet. We've seen crazy things happen. It's looking like that, but don't count the halves out quite yet. But yeah, Carolina is.
That is a brutal regional though. Oregon State, Washington State. I mean, those some rivalry games for Oregon State.
Yeah, that's tough. But yeah, man. Hopefully we can do it on Wednesday next week. The finals I think are supposed to start on June 3rd. I think regardless. So we'll see. What happens there with OKC and San Antonio. I really think that game is going to go to 7. But I appreciate all y'all for listening in.
I know that's the same night as the finals, but I'm good with Wednesday.
Is Wednesday the 3rd?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good day to do it. That's a good day to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm good with that if you guys are.
What day? Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday night next week.
That should be fine.
All right, same time, same bat channel then, huh?
Sure.
There you go.
Be good. Not sure what the sound cut at, Rich. I don't think this is. I wonder if it's on Facebook. I don't know what's happening with that, but yeah.
You might have.
Yeah. All right. Be good, guys.
All right,
Good night, fellas.